The 2017 home opener for the 4-0 Riverdale Raiders varsity baseball program has approached us, but hoping to spoil it is the 3-1 Green Wave of Fort Myers High School. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. This is Nick Rush giving you the call of the action from Pringle Field on the campus of Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida. As the first pitch of the ball game is on the way, here is your starting lineup for the Fort Myers Green Wave. They are coached by their manager, Brooks Bosner. Batting first, second baseman number 2, Milan Tucker. Batting second, the left fielder number 3, Cam Wademan. Third, it's the right fielder number 11, Connor Parnell. Jake Griffith, he is batting cleanup. He's the first baseman wearing number 10. Fifth, it's the third baseman number 4, Peyton Carr. And the sixth spot, it's the center fielder number 13, Grant Boland. Seventh, it's the pitcher number 12, Andrew Daly. Eighth, it's number 8, the shortstop, Jason Schumbacher. And batting in the last spot of the order, it's the catcher number 6, Max Fleming. And that wraps up your batting order for the Green Wave. On the mound right now for Riverdale, it's Trent Clark, number 13, representing their starting pitcher. Releasing his warm-up pitches off of the right hand. And with that being said, it's time to reveal the defensive alignment for RHS. From left to right in the outfield, it's Matisse Bober, Tyler Gertman, and Matt Hardy. At third, it's Connor Sekula. Off to his left at shortstop, it's Daniel Kaler. Tending second base is Brendan McNabb, Carson Palmquist over at first. And yet again, Trent Clark is up on the mound as the Riverdale starting hurler, throwing the balls and strikes to the Raider catcher, Tyler Prell. And Milan Tucker approaches the left hand of the batter's box to start this game. So Tucker stretches out for a brief moment, digs in up against the plate. Trent Clark getting the signal from Prell. Here's your first deal of the ball game. Just outside, or correction, it's in. After a bit of a delayed call there from the home plate umpire. However, we have an early start time. First pitch coming in at 6:58 p.m. here at Riverdale High School. 0-1 coming up. That's sparked out the right field towards the second baseman, and that'll be an error as Brendan McNabb over at second tried to leap up for it, but it was just off the tip of the glove. He was just barely able to get a piece of it. And just like that, Milan Tucker able to get things going early on here for Fort Myers. So that is an E4 in your scorebooks to start off this game. Cam Wademan now follows up. Just underway here at the top half of inning number 1 on a very breezy Friday evening between the Raiders and Green Wave at Riverdale High School. Here's a deal coming in low and away. That's a ball 1, throw over the second, will not be in time as Milan Tucker is able to make his way into scoring territory over at second, diving straight in. That pitch came straight into the dirt there, and Tyler Prell behind the dish. He didn't initially see Tucker taking off for second base, so right away he had a bit of an advantage there, and the throw was nowhere in time. Bunt signaled. That goes straight up to the pitcher, Clark. So there's a catch by Clark for out number 1. Throw over the second will not be in time as Tucker remains safe.
Next batter for Fort Myers, right fielder number 11, Connor Parnell.
Connor Parnell, the third batter in the Fort Myers order, now steps up. 1 on, 1 out. No score at the early stages of this ball game. Trent Clark with the leg whip and fire. That's right in there for strike number 1. And the wind is really picked up. I would say it is violent. We'll tell you about the weather here in just a moment. As the 0-1 is on the way from Trent Clark. Holds back for a brief moment. Kicks up the heels and he will not release the throw. He turns back over the second just to keep Tucker close to second. And he gets back without a dive or slide. It is 70 degrees here at the first pitch of tonight's ball game. Wind blowing at 15 miles per hour. And the direction of the wind is shifting out quite a bit. As here's a pitch that just misses the knees of Parnell. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, about half an hour before the game, the wind was blowing out towards us here at the press box as we are positioned just back behind home plate. Now it's taking a little bit of a turn from left to right across your computer screen. The 1-1 deal on the way home. Chip to the first baseman, Palmquist, that gets over his glove. And being held over at third base is Milan Tucker. Palmquist was not able to get any connection with that bouncer straight to him at first. So Parnell gets the base hit.
Now batting for the Green Wave, first baseman number 10, Jake Griffith.
So the cleanup hitter, Jake Griffith, hoping to draw first blood here for FMHS. They have runners around the corners. And only 1 out, top half of the first. Jake Griffith, a lefty in the batter's box. Holding the bat over his head, waving it menacingly. He squares down the bunt, goes straight to Clark. Throw home. Is it in time? Let's wait for it. It will not be. Milan Tucker comes home after Clark was in a jam there, and he had a little bit of a conflict, wondering, hey, should I throw to first or home plate? He tries to give an underhand throw to Prell over on the dish, but he couldn't make the tag in time, as Milan Tucker didn't even have to make a dive or anything. It's 1-0 Fort Myers here at the top of the first.
Bratwurst with peppers and onions. It's a little cool out, but if you really need an ice cold Diet Coke.
So I will tell you, this is a very nice start here by Fort Myers. Thank you all for joining us here on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the call here from Pringle Field. And Fort Myers right away, they are beginning to attack with the bats very early on. They don't want to waste any moments on getting the lead and extending it. So up next is Peyton Carr.
Third baseman number 4, Peyton Carr.
And also regarding the weather of tonight's game, Southwest Florida is feeling humidity at 50%. And no rain is on the local radar as a pitch is smoked back towards the press box foul. So 0-1 to start off Peyton Carr for his opening at bat at the plate. And you now have men on second and first for the Green Wave. These are two teams that started off the 2017 season on a very high note, so it's going to be a battle between two heavyweights. Once again, Fort Myers, they are 3-1 coming into Riverdale's Pringle Field tonight. And RHS, they are 4-0. If you count their pair of preseason victories, then that would make their record 6-0. As right now, Trent Clark, he is really distracted with these runners on the base pads right now. Right now, it looks like he's eyeing Connor Parnell over on second base. Parnell over on bag number 2, Griffith over on first. Both of them taking a modest lead off, and now there's Parnell making a beeline to third base, but the pitch is skipped foul down the right field line. Count advances to no balls and 2 strikes to Peyton Carr. So the 2 runners get back to their original positions over at second and first. That was a nice double steal there. Really taking a bit of a risk there with 1 out at the top half of the first. 1-0 Green Wave lead. Very early on throw to second, not in time. And that time around, the throw was, I would say it was in time. However, Brendan McNabb, he was just off second base. So that was a nice advantage there for Parnell, who was able to just dive back safely as the tag was never applied. Here's the deal, gets low and away yet again. Another zip over to Brendan McNabb on second, as that came from Tyler Prell. Throw nowhere even close. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the 5th man in the Fort Myers order, Carr. Trent Clark trying to work out of a jam here in the early stages of this matchup. This is a pass ball to the backstop, and both runners are able to advance. So now you have Parnell on third. Griffith moves to second, as Tyler Prell had to really chase that one in the backstop. Count tied up at 2 apiece now. Clark looking for the second out of what has been a rather lengthy top half of the first. Fort Myers up by 1 run. Here's another pass ball. Prell chases it down on the first base line, and coming home to score is Connor Parnell, and it's now a 2-0 Green Wave lead. So it seems like right now Trent Clark, he's starting to lose control, as the count is now full to Peyton Carr. So as you can imagine, Jake Griffith, he's able to just hurdle his way over to third. Here's the payoff pitch, and it misses, and yet again, FMHS has runners on the corners. Grant Boland now steps up.
Number 13, Grant Boland.
Fort Myers here in this game, looking very confident yet again in the early stages. They are sporting their road gray uniforms. Green numbers on the front and back. Green script Fort Myers on the chest with a white outline. They're wearing the gray shorts with a green stripe down both sides, and black batting helmets with the white script FM down the center. Here's a pitch, just misses, and things are just out of control right now for Riverdale, as that runner on first, Peyton Carr, gets over to second, and no throw even got close to him. That time Prell, he got up and zip-lined it straight to Daniel Kaler over at the shortstop position.
Trying to draw the third base runner off.
Here's another one that's just too low. Here's the 2-0 on the way. Count now 3 balls and no strikes. As Grant Boland has a nice opportunity here at the plate. Riverdale in this game, they are dressing in their home whites, garnet red script Raiders across the chest, and red numbers on the back, white pants, red stripe down the sides, and they have the white fielding caps on. Red bill, red script Raiders across the chest, Getting a bit ahead of myself there. They have that red script R on the center of the cap, which stands for Riverdale, as a strike rings through to Grant Boland. 3-1 deal, misses. There's a ball. It's a pass ball, and it is a 3-0 advantage. Here comes Boland over the second, and what a disaster that was. Another pass ball. Trent Clark seems to be a bit on edge right now, as multiple pitches have skipped past Tyler Prell and the catching position.
Now batting for Fort Myers, pitcher number 12, Andrew Daly.
So Andrew Daly now up, batter number 7 in the order, as well as the inning. Clark starts him off with a strike 1. Once again, we are working without a scoreboard here in tonight's ball game, so up here in the press box, we are working as hard as we can to keep these stats down, as a strike 2 gets right down the center of the strike plate. Calling the game without a scoreboard was a bit difficult back in the preseason. We're starting to get the hang of things up here now, however. Here's one way out to right field. Does it stay onto the field? No, it will not, as it just goes over the Raider dugout down the first base side. 1 out at the top half of the first. Raiders trailing 0-3. And here's one too far outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andrew Daly. And now here's Tyler Prell stepping up to the mound, having a talk with Trent Clark. Once again, the starting dealer here in this game up on the bump for Riverdale. So Andrew Daly, the right-handed hitter, jumps back in up against the plate. With a runner on third and 1 on second, the 1-2 delivery, swing and a miss, or correction, that is strike 3. So there's now 2 down here at the top half of the first.
Batting in for Fort Myers, shortstop.
Jason Schumbacher now called up. Anyways, very hopefully we'll be able to get a scoreboard in the later stages here of the season. So Schumbacher hacks and misses at the first pitch for a strike 1, as Trent Clark hopes to wrap up this long top half of the first. Thus far, Fort Myers has scored 3 across the plate. Here's a strike 2 coming right down the middle. This is high and dry for the first ball. Nice crowd has filed in on hand here at Pringle Field, both down the first and third base sides. Plenty of fans in the Raiders seats down the first base side. Here's a fly ball out to right field, and it's gloved up by Matt Hardy out in right field. So 3 outs come by, but the damage has been done. As we head to the home half of the first, the Raiders are down 0-3 against a Fort Myers Green Wave. They made a statement here early on in the ball game. Let's see if the Raiders can come back. Daniel Kaler is your leadoff batter for the Raiders at the home half of the first, as Fort Myers leads over Riverdale 3-0 in varsity baseball action. So home half of the first starts off with a ball 1 to Daniel Kaler. It's time for your starting lineup for RHS here after this next pitch. Comes in, and that's a flyer out to right field, and that is way out. Foul ball. Count now 1 apiece here for Daniel Kaler. Tyler Gertman batting second. He's the center fielder, number 13. Number 3, it's the left fielder, number 8, Matisse Bober. 4th, it's the right fielder, number 9, Matt Hardy. Here's a pitch low and away, ball 2 rather. 5th, it's the DH, number 2, Trevor Peckham. Next one comes up, almost hits Kaler, but he's able to get out of the way. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. And the 6th spot, it's Tyler Perrell, the catcher, wearing number 7. 7th, first baseman, number 10, Carson Palmquist. And the 8th spot, it's third baseman, number 15, Connor Sekula. And the second baseman, number 3, Brendan McNabb, is batting in that last spot. Count now full with a strike, and it was a matter of inches as Kaler initially was making his way to first. He has to come back to the plate, waves, and doesn't make a connection. There's a strikeout on Daniel Kaler, 1 down at the bottom of the first.
Number 14, Tyler Gertman.
So here's Tyler Gertman on his way to the plate. Fort Myers defensive alignment on the way, and so is the opening deal here to Gertman. It's way outside. From left to right in the outfield, it's Cam Wademan, Grant Boland, and Connor Parnell. Peyton Carr over on third. Off to his side at shortstop is Jason Schumbacher, as this is a close call to the first base dugout where the Raiders are. They have to duck for safety, as that was a foul ball coming their way. Everyone is safe, however, in their seats. Milan Tucker over on second, Jake Griffith on first. That was an interesting scene, I'll tell you that, seeing everyone duck for cover over on the Raider benches. 2 balls and 1 strike now, with 1 coming down at the knees. And Andrew Daly is the starting pitcher for Fort Myers, throwing the balls and strikes to Max Fleming, the catcher. And Fleming puts a ball 3 in his glove. The 3-1 to Gertman. Hangs it high in the air, out to right field, heading towards foul territory, and Connor Parnell will not be able to get to it out in right field as that ball is out of play. Count now full for Tyler Gertman. 1 out at the home half of the first. It's Fort Myers 3, Raiders nothing. So Andrew Daly searching for back-to-back punch-outs. Payoff coming off the right hand, and it's high above the head of Gertman, and he will take a stroll over the first base.
Your next Raider batter, left fielder, number 8, Matisse Bober.
Matisse Bober. Third man due up here at the home half of the first. Here's a quick check over to Gertman, who dives back in time safe. Leg whip and fire. This just gets in from down under. And the thing about Fort Myers, what we've noticed here in this first inning is that they know how to work fast when they are in that batter's box. They started putting men on as soon as that first pitch came out, as a strike 2 gets past Bober. Bober crouching low in the right side of the box, trying to make that strike plate just a bit smaller, and he chops it over to the shortstop. Throw to first will be in time. And there's out number 2. 6-3 put out in the scorebooks for Bober, as Schumbacher makes an impressive throw over the first baseman, Jake Griffith. And Jason Schumbacher, he had to really crouch down for that one. Couldn't make the play standing up, but he's able to get to it and rips it over to the first base bag. And off of that bouncer, we saw Tyler Gertman make his way to second. Hardy with a ball one. Count now locked up here with a pitch getting inside. 1-1 to Hardy. Riverdale down by 3 runs, bottom of the first. 2 outs, 1 man on over at second. Thanks for listening in to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the call of this game. It's the home opener yet again for Riverdale. Here's the rip home, just wide. Raider dugout making a lot of noise, cheering on Matt Hardy and encouraging him. He is a junior student at RHS and his 3rd year with the varsity team. Very impressive feature in high school baseball to make the varsity team as a freshman, and he saw plenty of action out there as well back in that year. Here's a fister over to the shortstop Schumbacher. Another 6-3 to retire the sides, and that puts your first inning to bed. Raiders strand 1 man over on second, that's Tyler Gertman, and no one is able to score. It's still 3-0 Fort Myers heading into inning number 2. The 9, 1, and 2 spots are leading off for Fort Myers. Top of the second we go as they are leading over Riverdale by 3 runs here in this contest. Here's Max Fleming, the catcher for the Green Wave, making his way up to the dish. He'll take a strike 1. That's followed up by yet another one. So a quick 0-2 situation here for Max Fleming. Trent Clark back up on the mound in his 2nd inning of work as the Riverdale starting pitcher. Let's see if he can calm down now as he was back in a little bit of a jam in that 1st inning of work. 0-2, tip foul towards the backstop. Right now we have papers flying all around up here in the press box.
Twister. It's an hour to go past.
Here's a high line drive out to right field, and that's one that will make its way out towards the seats. Well, you could call it a twister because we have some violent winds coming up here in the press box. Windows open, just like it is for every game, and we have papers flying all around up here. Let's see if we can keep them situated in their place throughout the course of this game. Looks like it's blowing from left to right, and it has been ever since the first pitch. Ooh, this is high in the sky, out to center field, and finishing off that play is Tyler Gertman in shallow center. There's your first out of the 2nd inning.
Next batter for...
So the top of the order we go with Milan Tucker.
Milan Tucker.
Milan Tucker back in the 1st inning. He got on base with an E4 in the scorebooks. First pitch, bunted down the first base side. It's a beauty of a bunt as he gets on first with no problem that time.
Should let that one roll foul. That was headed foul.
Back in the 1st, after Tucker was able to get on, he extended his way around the base pads to score one of the 3 runs for the Green Wave. Cam Wademan walks on up from the on-deck circle, and he flew out to the pitcher, Trent Clark, back in inning number 1. And Trent Clark, he's looking a bit more relaxed up there. Let's see if he can maintain his composure throughout the top of the 2nd. Throw to first. Is it in time? No, it is not. Very close play that time around, and many fans disagree with that call.
That was a bang-bang. That was close.
It was a matter of inches that time around, and visually from the press box, I thought it might have got Tucker as well, but hey, those officials down there, they have a good look at it, so hey, we will trust them on that call. We are high atop the action here in the press box. Here's another close one to first, but yet again, Tucker is not caught. Trent Clark staring down Tucker on first. Finally gets the delivery in to Wademan. Oh, this gets through the left side of the infield. There's a base hit. And Fort Myers quickly gets 2 men on. So Connor Parnell has the chance to do some serious damage here for RHS. Or Fort Myers, pardon me.
Number 11, Connor Parnell.
Bob Pringle on the first base dugout, trying to get his fielding unit going here. Bob Pringle, the manager of the Riverdale Raiders. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Brooks Bosner. You have to bet he's very pleased with how his team has really been aggressive in the opening stages of the action. Ball one is called here to Connor Parnell. So with a runner on second, Fort Myers, if they could get some luck going their way, they can make this 3-run lead into a 4-run situation. It's battered to the third baseman. Wow, what a perfect situation that time around, as the ball was a chipper going straight to Connor Sekula over on third. And Milan Tucker, he was bolting over the third, trying to steal just before that. So it gets to Sekula just in time for him to apply the tag on Tucker. And just like that, out number 2 has came upon us here at the top of the second. And Connor Parnell, he's able to get on to first as there was no throw from Sekula, but either way, that really helps Fort Myers breathe a little bit. Well, you do have 2 men on here for Fort Myers. Now runners around the corners as a man's able to steal over the third. So that's Cam Wademan who just stole third there. Parnell still over on first, as he gets on board with a fielder's choice that time around. 2 on, 2 out. Trent Clark delivers at home, and he gets it in the strike zone. So you can see the Raiders start to slowly adjust to the quick style of this Fort Myers offense. They waste no time trying to wave at pitches, and they know how to make it work out in their favor. A flip over the Palmquist will not be able to do anything, as Parnell is back, standing.
Oh, we only had 1 game lead. 2 other boys games tonight. Yes.
Oh, Clark raises the leg, and this pitch hits Griffith in the leg off to the right side. So now you have the bags juiced. First time the Green Wave have been in that situation. So Peyton Core, a little bit of a do-or-die situation for him here, with 2 outs and men on first, second, and third.
Next batter for Fort Myers, third baseman, number 4, Peyton Carr.
Riverdale, just for a quick moment to add the infield, or at least a few members of the infield, join in there for a quick word. Doesn't hold up the game too much. As Carr is in the box, opening pitch is over his head, ball one. Prell able to get in the back of his glove. Had to get out of his crouch there, however. Count now 2-0 here. Raiders looking for that third out. Fort Myers.
Guys, we got nowhere to park them now. We're juiced.
They're up by 3, the Green Wave. And they have Riverdale right where they want them. Ooh. Things are looking a bit bleak now for Trent Clark as he tosses in a ball number 3. And that just gets in by a matter of inches. 3-1, the Peyton Carr. So Raiders hoping to keep their deficit down to only 3 at the top of inning number 2. The next one, it's a pop-up, left side of the infield. Multiple men going at it, and it is caught. Wow, Daniel Kaler comes up big in the shortstop position. 3 men stranded for Fort Myers, but they're still up by 3 runs. Bottom of the second, here we come from Pringle Field. Welcome back to Pringle Field at Riverdale High School as the Raiders of RHS are down to Fort Myers by a 0-3 score. Trevor Peckham, the DH, is up. First pitch is a first out for him as he is sat down with a 4-3 on the infield.
Next batter for your Raiders, catcher, number 7, Tyler Prell.
So Tyler Prell gets into the left side of the box. And the Raiders are off to a rather slow start here. Ball 1 gets down at his knees. And what I've noticed here in this ball game thus far, it's that Fort Myers, they seem to be a bit more of a risk-taking ball club. Count now ball 2-0 to Tyler Prell. Well, if they see a good pitch and they're swinging at it, Riverdale, they seem to be a bit more careful at the plate. And Prell, this time around, it's paying off for him. He's already in a 3-0 situation. Will this be a 4-pitch walk? Nor will not. Prell doesn't swing at this nice opportunity. Close call, but there's the ball 4 for Tyler Prell, and he's on the first base with 1 out.
This runner is number 17, Colby Davis.
So Colby Davis is your pinch runner over on first.
17, Colby Davis. Your next batter for your Raiders, first baseman, number 10, Carson Palmquist.
So Carson Palmquist, who's playing first base in this game, steps up. It's his opening at bat of the night, and he sends a laser straight up to the pitcher. Throw to second for 1. It's bobbled, but the second baseman, Milan Tucker, regains it, steps on the bag for the out, and that's the second out of the home half of inning number 2.
Batting next for the Raiders, third baseman, number 15, Connor Sekula.
Connor Sekula, he is the 8th man in the Riverdale order. Trying to keep things rolling for the Raiders. 1-0 is what he will be started off with. And Andrew Daly, the starting pitcher on the mound for Fort Myers, he is wasting no time in between deals. He gets the signal from his catcher and he just yanks it home, as here's another one that just gets low. Fans trying to applaud Sekula right now, trying to get him into a good mindset here. Count is even up at 1-1. Here's one that's chipped to the safety netting back behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, as Daly is hoping to get things done quick here at the bottom of the second. We've had Trevor Peckham ground out off of 4-3. Tyler Pro got on with a base on balls. He was called out over on second due to fielder's choice, and Palmquist is now on first. And here is Connor Sekula getting hit on the left shoulder by a pitch. 2 runners on for the Raiders.
Here comes your next Raider batter, second baseman, number 3, Brandon McNabb.
And although Riverdale, they've had quite a few men on board here in tonight's game, they have yet to get their first hit of the night. Brendan McNabb has the power to change that. Strike 1 comes into him. Raiders still trying to get their first run of the game up. Down by 3 runs. The zip line to home is just tapped foul, as it gets right in front of the Fort Myers bench down left field. McNabb able to call a timeout just before Daly got into his windup. So he takes a moment outside of the bag to reassess the situation, outside of the box, excuse me. Here's the yank home. Low. Is it a pass ball? Yes, it is. And here's a runner coming to third base. It's Carson Palmquist.
First baseman never moved.
Over on first, it's Connor Sekula, the base runner, and he didn't move at all.
He might not know where the ball was at, because he didn't see it.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion there on that play. Even the catcher that time around was looking for it. Max Fleming, he was jumping all around home plate, turning around all directions, trying to find it.
Right under his feet, you couldn't see it.
Yeah, it got right under his feet.
Couldn't see it for looking.
Leg whip and fire, swing and a miss. Brendan McNabb goes down off of a swinging K. And your second inning is all said and done. Fort Myers still up by 3 runs. Grant Boland starts things off at the plate. Top of the third, as came down here to Pringle Field as a ball 1 comes at the feet of Boland. Fort Myers up 3-0. Count now equaled up at 1-1. Trent Clark back up on the mound. Here's a strike 2 coming up on the way. And now we're starting to see Trent Clark start to get a bit more confident up there on the mound. At the beginning of this game in the first, he was spending a lot of time in between his deals, and now he's getting to work, and this is clocked out to right field, going towards the wall, and it's foul. Well, good situation there for the Raiders. Sure thing, it was the wind zipping out to right field, and no doubt about it, the wind carried that ball out of play. So a 1-2 situation here for Boland. Very tall and slender at the plate. Trent Clark trying to punch him out here. Can he do it? Nope, this is out the center. Is it caught? Yes, it is. Brendan McNabb had a bit of difficulty grasping that one in his glove, but he's able to do exactly that. There's an F4 to put down Boland.
Your next Green Wave batter, pitcher number 12, Andrew Daly.
Andrew Daly, the Green Wave pitcher, now makes his way up. 0 for 1 on today with a swinging K back in the first.
That was
0 and 1.
That was nice. Second bat of the first bat of the day was a swinging K. I like that. Little poetry going on. I'm impressed.
Ooh, here's another one chalked out to right, and that's a dead ball.
That wind may take that into the veranda. That wind is blowing.
Oh, that's another thing to consider. Yep, we have the veranda community just out over right field here at the baseball complex. Oh, this comes close up towards the face of Andrew Daly. He dodges it.
Hindsight, good for haircuts, not good for a pitch.
This his first. Oh goodness.
Look out! He sat quiet over here for 3.
Yep. That's our public address announcer, Mr. Revels, ladies and gentlemen. Yep.
2/3 of a punt. PU.
Hey, he's a jokester here in the press box, and the voice you hear in the background calling out the names, that's him.
That's me. That's right, we'll be signing autographs, 8x10 glosses and CDs out in the
Yep, all jokes here in the press box.
That's right.
However, it's not fun and games for the Raiders as of yet, as they're trying to fight back, still down by 3, top of the third.
Go to break, and let me tell you a good joke.
Okay.
I heard it today.
Okay.
Great joke.
Long at bat here for Andrew Daly.
It's fine.
Yep.
You'll like it. You'll go. Anyway. Oh, man.
Here's, oh my goodness, the wind is picking up everything.
You're getting under our ball budget now.
That was a screamer out towards the veranda.
It's like 5 of these.
They have a golf course out there.
So the guy don't walk up try to hit the ball tomorrow.
Yep. You'll find some baseballs out there on the course tomorrow morning, as this is a chipper down the left field line. Will not get into fair play.
Wow. 38 pitches, 39 of them foul balls.
Yep. So Andrew Daly has a situation here with 2 strikes at the plate. Trent Clark trying to give him number 3, and it's just low.
I have a situation.
I believe this is a 2-2. Once again, we're keeping all the stats up here in the press box. No scoreboard here at Pringle Field. Out the right. Is it caught by Hardy? Yes, it is. My goodness, he had to go to the... Oh my goodness. Yep. He had to get out there towards the bullpen of Riverdale, which is in right field. Either way, Andrew Daly gets knocked down with an F9. Jason Schumbacher has the bags empty.
Third base.
Here's a small bouncer to the third baseman across the diamond. It's in time. And take a look at that. It's a 3 up, 3 down for the Raider defense. Hey, not so bad. Fort Myers, they can't score, but yet again, it's a 3-run difference going their way. Home half of the third, on the way in just moments. It's the bottom of the third, but it's the top of the order here for the Raiders. Oh, man. Like I said, the joke telling in the press box continues. A lot of baseball-related puns. Here's a ball here to Daniel Kaler, as the Raiders are down by a 0-3 score. Count now 2-0. Here's one on the way to Kaler. Gets a late swing. He'll pay the price. He's set down with a 5-3. And there's out number 1. Once again, there's that Fort Myers fielding unit getting to work early. Tyler Gertman will continue things.
Number 14, Tyler Gertman.
A lot of action here at Riverdale High School when it comes to athletics. Strike 1 comes through to Tyler Gertman. Just a few moments ago, we had a wrap up on the girls' lacrosse game. Just over center field here from the baseball complex, we have Pringle Field. Gertman sparks it foul. Down right field. Pringle Field, home to various sports for Riverdale. Football, soccer, and lacrosse. And we only had the girls playing at home here tonight against Cape Coral. We were not able to get a final score on that game as of yet. However, that game is put to an end. The stadium lights over there at the facility, the lights are turned off. Now, out the left field, we have the softball complex. Riverdale taking on the Fort Myers Green Wave over there in varsity softball. So it's a 1-2 here to Gertman. 6-3 comes through, and it's a 2-up, 2-down to start things off for Riverdale here at the bottom of the third.
Your next Raider batter, left fielder, number 8, Matisse Bober.
So it's Matisse Bober, as you can hear on the PA system, on his way up. Well, out in left field, you can see the stadium lights for the Riverdale softball complex. Once again, Riverdale and Fort Myers playing over there in softball action. So pretty interesting. Riverdale versus Fort Myers in baseball. And those two same schools taking each other on in softball. One paints in the inside corner, next one just out. Bober with the 1-1 count. 2 outs and no men on at the home half of the third. Raiders still scoreless. It's a 3-0 Fort Myers advantage. Ball 2 knocks in the dirt. Andrew Daly kicks the leg up. Here's another infield bouncer, and it results in yet another 5-3. Another 3-up, 3-down.
3 complete. It's Fort Myers 3.
3-up, 3-down at the top and bottom halves of the third. So 2 to 4th we go. Raiders are still down, hoping to change things up in the future of this game. Max Fleming steps up to the plate. We begin your 4th inning, and it is 7:58 p.m. here at Pringle Field. We are officially 1 hour into tonight's ball game. First pitch was delivered at 6:58, and the first pitch of the 4th is an opening strike here to Fleming. 3-0 Fort Myers lead. The Green Wave hoping to extend it. Now 0-2 with one on the inside corner. Trent Clark has really picked things up. Very shaky at the top half of the first, giving up 3 runs. Here's a laser out to center field, a line drive, and out to center field. Was that a catch? Oh, yes, it was. A beautiful slide out in shallow center field, courtesy of Tyler Gertman.
Next batter for Fort Myers, second baseman number 2, Milan Tucker.
No doubt about it. That was a very difficult play to make, and from my view of it, I wasn't even sure if Gertman got onto it. But sure enough, he got on the tip of that glove. Here's one on the inside for Milan Tucker. Yep, he got on first base with a bunt in his previous at-bat. Top of the second. And he got caught over on third. Yep, trying to steal. That was off of a bouncer to the third baseman. More on that in just a moment as Tucker. Here's a high one out to right field. And Hardy tries to make the catch. But does he reel it in? Oh, yes he did.
Umpire said catch.
Oh my goodness. Riverdale outfield doing some big things here at the top half of inning number 4. And Matt Hardy puts down Tucker. 2 down.
Cam Ura.
So here's Cam Wademan. 2 up, 2 down thus far for Fort Myers. Wademan waves at this pitch, but can't make anything happen. Well, anyways, Milan Tucker back at the top of the second. He was trying to steal from second to third, but once he took off, there was a bouncer to the third baseman, Connor Sikula, who tagged him out. There was a wacky play indeed, and a wonderful catch out in center, courtesy of Tyler Gertman. Puts down Fort Myers. It's yet another 3 up, 3 down outing for Fort Myers. It's their second in a row. And it's a 3-0 FMHS lead. Bottom half of the 4th coming up.
Yeah, we got action in the bullpen.
Matt Hardy represents the starting batter for Riverdale. Here at the bottom half of the 4th, here's a ball 1 coming into Hardy. And a strike to follow that one up. So it is the bottom of the 4th. For a moment on my scorebook, I accidentally read bottom half of the 5th. So if I ever happen to say that, I do apologize for that. But it is the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's a ball 2 inside Matt Hardy. Here's yet another bouncer. This game has been full of those. 4-3. Goes down Hardy. Trevor Peckham is your next man up.
Batting next for your Raiders, designated hitter, number 2, Trevor Peckham.
So Raiders still down by 3, and it seems like that's been their problem. They haven't had any problems connecting with the ball. However, their main issue has been just getting it to the outfield. This has been a very difficult infield to crack here for Fort Myers, so of course they are all over those infield ground balls. Let's see if Peckham could get one in the air. Ooh, very questionable strike 2 there. Or strike 1 rather.
Bottom 4.
Peckham signals for a bunt. And there's a strike as he pulled back at the last second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Home half of the 4th. Raiders trail 0-3. Kicking up the leg there is Andrew Daly, who throws in the ball 2. What a day it's been for him. It's his 4th inning of pitching as the Fort Myers starter, and he has really been on top of things. Oh, there's a strike 3, and a very close one, just getting in there from down low. And Peckham didn't even see it coming.
Batting next for Riverdale, your catcher, number 7.
So up is Tyler Prell. This has been a really fast-moving ball game, and look at this. Is this a out number 3? Sure thing it is. There's a 6-3. So it's a 3 up, 3 down. That puts us to inning number 5. 4 complete at RHS.
0.
So to the 5th inning we go. Connor Parnell up at the plate as Fort Myers is up over Riverdale by a 3-0 score. Ball 1 comes through from the new pitcher on the mound for RHS, number 17, Colby Davis. You can now call it 2-0. Yep.
Absolutely.
Once again, more puns here. More on that in just a moment. Ooh, big wave and a miss. Strike 1. But yep. Well, yep, our public address announcer cranking out the jokes here at Riverdale. Ball 3. You know what we did up here in the press box? We put Wild Thing on. Yep, a little bit of tribute to Major League. A classic baseball movie.
You will win.
And you know what he does is he goes on the microphone and he says, "Fans, if you could tell me what movie this is from, you win absolutely nothing." Nothing but good laughs, and oh my goodness, it's not a laughing matter on this play. Oh my goodness. Let's explain that one. So over on first, you had Carson Palmquist try to track down the fly ball. It bounces right in front of him. Parnell got a bit too excited, trying to extend a single into a double. He turns back the first too late, and Palmquist just gives it to, let's see who was covering that. It was Brendan McNabb covering the bag, and he applies the tag, so Parnell goes down on what would have been an otherwise easy opportunity to get on first.
I have no idea how you score that.
Here's a ball to Jake Griffith. Well,
do you score that an E3 and then a throw out, or I don't know?
Yeah, that's what I would say. An E3 and a throw out is how you would score that one. And it would have to be a 3-4 as Jake Griffith takes another ball. This gets over the head of Davis. Coming to his rescue is the shortstop Daniel Kaler. Out number 2.
Now batting for Fort Myers, third baseman number 4, Peyton Carr.
The past 2 innings with Fort Myers up at the plate, they have had 3 up, 3 down rather. And right now, Colby Davis hoping to keep that small tradition going here, I guess you could call it, in this game.
He's got him guessing right now. This is good.
Peyton Carr, big swing and a large miss. Here's another one shipped to the backstop. Count 0-2 to Peyton Carr. Frequent outs here in this game have really kept this game moving along smooth. Very not so smooth play there, as there is an error on the shortstop Daniel Kaler. He bobbled the grounder going straight to him, regained control, but the throw was not there.
On third.
So it was a third baseman correction. Yeah, he was coming in Kaler's way.
Yeah, he come across to make the play and get it.
Yeah, that was Connor Sikula who will be rewarded the error. Well rewarded, probably not the proper term for that. Not something you want to be rewarded. Will be given. Let's just stick to that.
Yeah, he's crossed.
So here's Grant Boland up. So an E5 for Peyton Carr, who's now on first. Grant Boland trying to keep things rolling. Here's the first pitch to him, swing and a miss. Top of the fifth.
What?
Grand Bowland. There's a place in, I believe it's Cape Coral called Bowland. It's a bowling lane out center field. A little bit of a lame pun, I would say that is.
There's also one in Lehigh.
There's a Bowland in Lehigh too. Well, here's a very small bouncer that gets out to center field. Now 2 men on for Fort Myers. So Grand Bowland now on bag number 1. You have Peyton Carr over on second. And this is all with 2 outs. Top of the fifth, and it's a 3-0 Fort Myers lead. But yes, there's a Bowland in Lehigh. Yeah, I was thinking it was in Cape Coral originally, but it is in fact Lehigh. Yeah, you have head pins in the Cape. You have quite a few options for bowling in the Southwest Florida area. You know, Grant Bowland, just the name reminds me of it. Here's a throw to first. It's so close. It was a ball low and away coming to Prell. Or a strike, rather. Excuse me. Yeah, I was looking over at the runner over on first. But, yeah, swing and a miss. So it's an 0-2 updated count to Andrew Daly. But that runner over on first, he was in a little bit of a jam. He lost his footing trying to get the first. He gets back safe in time, but a fielder's choice comes through. Connor Sekula steps on third as a bouncer goes straight to him. So through 4.5, it's still a 3-0 Fort Myers lead over Riverdale. Your leadoff man at the home half of the fifth is Carson Palmquist for the Raiders as they are down by 3 runs to the Fort Myers Green Wave 0-3. Here's a ball 1 coming down towards the knees to start off Palmquist. Another one misses in the dirt. 2-0. You want to hear something interesting about Carson Palmquist is that he has a brother named Cody Palmquist, and he is a starting pitcher in minor league baseball. Ooh, big swing and a miss there, strike 1. Well, last season, Cody Palmquist was a member of the High Desert Mavericks, the single-A advanced affiliate of the Texas Rangers, and a former member of the California League. Here's a foul tip backwards. The Mavericks unfortunately ceased operations at the conclusion of the 2016 season, but the organization went out with a bang by winning the league championship that year. No better way to go out. So with 2 strikes, here's Palmquist getting the full count, with 1 coming towards the stomach that time around. Full count. Makes connection with 1, and that's an error as the second baseman for Fort Myers, Milan Tucker, made a dive for it off to the right side of the infield. It bounces right off his glove, and here's Palmquist on first for the second time of the night.
Next batter for your Raiders, third baseman, number 15, Connor Sekula.
Carson Palmquist, he has gotten on base twice. He had a fielder's choice at the bottom of the second. And here he is with an E4. As it looks like Sekula had to check swing there. And it was a strike. The 0-1. Oh, can't make anything there. Tried chasing it, but couldn't make any type of connection. So that's pretty interesting. Carson Palmquist and Cody Palmquist, both starters, and they both are really talented players. I will tell you that. Here's ball 1 reaching through to Connor Sekula. I mean, Carson, he's only a sophomore here with Riverdale High School. Made the varsity team last year as a freshman, which once again is easier said than done. Here's ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Connor Sekula at the plate. Well, Carson, as a sophomore, he is already committed to the University of Miami. As a pitcher, no doubt about it, he's a real deal. Raiders down by 3. No outs and a man on first here for Sekula. Here's another dead ball to the backstop. And coming up with a very impressive snag there on the Riverdale on-deck circle was Brendan McNabb, catching that ball barehanded off of the safety netting back behind home. So he sends it back into play, and there's another one coming his direction. He can't make the snag, however. That doesn't bounce down onto the field. So Sekula still locked up with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Palmquist over on first. Not taking too large of a lead off at all. Ooh, full count on the way. Very close off-speed pitch. So big opportunity here for Sekula if he can make something work. They'll put 2 men on for Riverdale. The payoff from Daly. Ooh, it's shallow out to center field, and it's caught for out number 1. Getting to it is Grant Boland.
Now batting for Riverdale, second baseman, number 3, Brendan McNabb.
So 1 out. Still 1 on for Palmquist there as he stayed over at first. Raiders down by 3 runs. Still looking for their first runs of the game. Here's a strike on the inside corner. Looking absolutely unstoppable right now is Andrew Daly, the Fort Myers starting pitcher on the mound. Still going very strong. Here's one coming to the opposite side for a ball.
He's only got 3 strikeouts, but man, the infield's been tight.
Yep, only 3 strikeouts on the night for Daly, but Fort Myers, they are a very impressive team when it comes to that infield. They have been all over Riverdale when it comes to ground balls. Yep. 2 and 1.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ground outs out of.
My goodness, 8 ground outs for Riverdale. And that's out of 12 outs here. And the first 4 innings as we are at the bottom of the 5th. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike to McNabb, the 9th man in the Riverdale order. And he's trying to compensate for the home half of the second where he hacked and missed to go down swinging. There's one over everyone's head. Ball 4, 2 men on for the Raiders.
Fans, while we have a break in action, a reminder.
So now there's an infield meeting here for Riverdale, or Fort Myers rather, excuse me. Riverdale has men on first and second.
Against the...
And let's see if this is a pitching change going on right now.
On Tuesday. And...
Yes, it is. So we have a pitching change on the mound as Andrew Daly has the ball taken out of his hands by the manager of Fort Myers, Brooks Bosner. And at the home half of the 5th, with 1 out and 2 on for Riverdale, Fort Myers will have a new hurler on the mound as they are still up by 3 runs. We continue your home half of the 5th. Riverdale has men on second and first. 1 out, new pitcher on the mound for Fort Myers is number 20, Justin Warren, the right-handed pitcher. Curveball fired in here, and it's ricocheted away down left field by Kaler, the next man up. Raiders trying to come back. They're down by 3 runs. They haven't scored yet on the night. Kaler continues to square down to bunt, pulls back, and the home plate umpire will not call that a strike. Fans really hyped up. Fans shouting to Daniel Kaler, trying to get him hyped up here as he sticks out the bat across home plate. Can he square it down? Not that time around, he doesn't.
Kids overthrowing.
Here's a 2-1 count now to Daniel Kaler. Top of the order we go here for RHS. He finally gets one down. It's a nice bouncer down to left field line. The throw is bobbled. Oh, the first baseman for Fort Myers just couldn't hold on. Jake Griffith pays the price. And now, take a look at this. The bags are packed for RHS.
Your next Raider batter, center fielder, number 14, Tyler Gertman.
So for the first time tonight, Riverdale has men on all three bags. And there's one out. Still, Gertman has to be careful, strike one. Fans are very lively in the Raider fan section. Down first base. They're packed down there. 0-2. Both pitches he has watched go by.
That was a nice curve, though.
Yeah, Justin Warren very early on throwing some curveballs, and back when he was throwing, he was having a hard time snapping the curveball. His arm was just too out, and oh my goodness, liner down the left field line, and that's a foul ball. Oh wow, fans rose to their feet that time around as Gertman just got wonderful connection. But the wind didn't help as that ball quickly died. It's still blowing out the right, however, somewhat. It's going in various directions. Still 0-2 for Gertman. Can Warren strike him out? It's high out the right field, staying up in the air, and it remains outside of the playing field. You had three different men trying to track it down there for Fort Myers off to the right side of the infield, and nobody could even find it. They all lost it in that night sky, so a little bit of luck there for Tyler Gertman, holding on to dear life with 2 strikes. Everyone standing on the Raider benches. 0-2. Oh, a little bit of a fly ball back behind second, and there's the catch. 2 down. And it's Jason Schumbacher getting underneath that ball.
Next batter for your Raiders, left fielder number 8, Matisse Bober.
If there's a chance for Riverdale to get on the board, well, now is it. Bober gets right up, bouncer to the pitcher. Warren finishes it off with a 1-3. It's as simple as that. 3 men stranded on base for the Raiders. They get nothing, and they are still down by 3 runs as Matisse Bober gets put down off of 1 pitch. More coming up after this, inning number 6. The 6th inning has came to Pringle Field, and it's Jason Schumbacher starting things off for the Fort Myers Green Wave. Opening deal goes way out of the complex down right field. Colby Davis still up on the mound, the second pitcher of the game for RHS. Loops it out to left field. It's caught. Ooh, interesting catch there. Seems like Matisse Bober out and left caught it underhanded almost.
Yeah, that wind slapped it down pretty good.
But yep, he got it in hand for that first out.
Next batter for the Green Wave, number 6, Max Fleming.
So here's Max Fleming up next. Opening deal is fouled down first. These 2 teams, they have a long history with each other when it comes to baseball, no doubt about it. Last time they competed, it was March 15th, 2016 at Fort Myers High School. Riverdale won with a high-scoring affair, 10-7. Another one on the way from Davis, just misses high up. 1-1, the Fleming. Now, last time they competed at RHS, what a game that was. We go back to April 21st, 2015. 2-1, as this knocks in the dirt. That was a district semifinal postseason matchup, which Fort Myers won 12-11. And Riverdale, they entered the bottom of the 7th, down by 7 runs. Rallied to score 6 men across the plate. More on that in a moment. Here's a 6-3. Down goes Max Fleming with another ground out. So to the top we go with Milan Tucker.
Next batter for Fort Myers, top of the order, number 2, Milan Tucker.
Well, anyways, Raiders at the bottom of the 7th, they were down by 7 runs back in that game in 2015. Scored 6 men across the plate until the Green Wave were able to retire the sides with their lead still intact to collect the victory and advance to the playoffs. Milan Tucker waves at it, can't find connection with the ball. 0-1, there's another hack. And no connection still, 0-2. And Fort Myers ended up making it all the way to the regional quarterfinals back in 2015, where they were shut out on the road by the Martin County Tigers of Stuart, Florida, by a 3-0 final result. Here's ball 1 coming through to Milan Tucker. Oh, you can feel the wind blowing off of that one. Swing and a miss. Down goes Milan Tucker. And we wrap up your top half of the 6th. Bottom half on the way in just moments. Fort Myers up 3-0. We're back here at Riverdale High School. Home half of the 6th with Matt Hardy at the plate. First pitch, he just whacks that down left field, but has no chance of being fair. Justin Warren back up on the mound. Inning number 2 of work for him. He came in the last inning as a reliever for Andrew Daly, who was the starting pitcher for Fort Myers. Close but no cigar there with the swing and miss from Hardy. This gets right down in the dirt. So it's still 3-0. It's been that way ever since your first inning when Fort Myers scored 3 right at the top half of the first. Ever since then, there has been no scoring whatsoever. It's been back and forth, and defense has played a huge part of this game, as right now you have Matt Hardy with 3 balls and 1 strike. This is Hardy's first home game of 2017 with Riverdale. He did not participate in the 2 preseason games here at Riverdale. So I have the stats right up here in the press box. I believe it's a full count. And sure enough it is. There's a walk from Matt Hardy. Nice way to lead things off at the home half of the 6th.
Designated hitter, number 2, Trevor Peckham.
So here comes Trevor Peckham. Yep, we've been doing well without a functioning scoreboard, I'll tell you that. And I've been given a lot of help here with, well, first of all, the PA announcer. Occasionally giving some good updates. So, gotta give credit to him, but the scoreboard,
Where's he at?
with no working scoreboard, I also have a scorebook helping me out here. where it helps you pay attention to the pitch count. You get to mark it right down as it happens. That's a quality scorebook right there. Well, here's Trevor Peckham. Looper out to left field. That's a liner, and it will not get down.
Nice catch.
Cam Wademan with a wonderful snag there. And that's out number 1. Hardy stays over on first base. 1 on, 1 down.
Number 7, Tyler Rowell.
So Trevor Peckham in a little bit of a slump tonight, 0 for 3. As Prell now moves up. So here's the leg whip and fire and a short grounder down left field. And it lands right in front of the Fort Myers dugout in left field.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas,
Right now, Warren taking his time, communicating with the catcher. Catcher loses control of it, but he quickly gets it back. Hardy can't move over from first, so it's now 1-1 for Prell. And that catcher is Max Fleming. And he does a great job communicating with the pitchers, and he has dealt with 2 different ones here tonight. When it comes to style, there's a liner through the left side of the infield. 2 men on for the Raiders as Prell gets his first base hit of the evening.
Next batter for your Raiders, number 10, Carson Holmquist.
So we have a courtesy runner on number 4 for Riverdale, and it's number 4, Michael Connor, getting out on the base pads for the first time of the night. Swing and a miss here. Carson Palmquist at the plate.
First base, number 4, Michael Connor for the Raiders.
Connor very quick and speedy, but he has a runner over on second base.
So if he hits the ball here, you have to move the glove 3 inches to get it inside the strike zone. He's not going to call that. Sorry. Just saying. Not going to call that.
So I'll tell you right now, Carson Palmquist at the plate, 1-1. Man over on second, 1 on first, and there's ball 2. It's the home half of the 6th. Raiders down by 3.
You can curl the glove in, but if you move the hand over, he's never going to call it. Never in a million years. If he does,
Yeah, it seems like Max Fleming, the catcher, has been moving his glove a little bit towards the strike zone, seeing if that could affect the call of the home plate umpire, perhaps. And you do see a lot of that at all levels of baseball, as here's one shipped back towards the press box, count 2-2. You see that at many levels. You especially see many catchers freeze frame the ball, where they just hold it, seeing if they could get a second opinion from that umpire, perhaps. Ooh, screaming line drive, or man, got tangled up with the words there. Line drive. Yeah, you know, it happens. It happens. It's been a fast-paced game. But yep, line drive out to left field, and that had some speed behind it. Oh, there's a beauty out to right field. Let's see if the runner comes around third. He will. Is the throw in time? No. Raiders score, and it's now a 3-1 Fort Myers lead, as coming home to cash it in is Matt Hardy, but the Raiders finally get things going. RBI base knock there by Carson Palmquist. And a meeting on the mound ensues for Fort Myers. So a pinch hitter will now move on up here for Riverdale. That infield meeting for Fort Myers didn't last long at all. Jeremiah Dunnick digs into the box for his first at-bat of the evening.
Jeremiah Dunnick. Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
So right now you have Dunnick taking over in the place of Connor Sekula in that 8th spot of the Riverdale batting order. Opening deal is a strike one. The American flag out in center field, still violently blowing from left to right. That's something to see. Throw to third, not in time. Both runners advance off of a double steal.
Double steal by Pringle, good call.
One man on third, one on second for RHS. So Michael Connor on third, Carson Palmquist standing still over on the second base bag. And another one outside makes the count 2-1.
Okay.
And with one out, Dunnick, he is open to a world of opportunities right now. Riverdale has that tying runner over on second. That's Palmquist. And this digs into dirt. Runners stay in their places. Fleming had to really just wait a second there. Tracked it down in between his legs. And a 3-1 count here for Dunnick. You can imagine the pressure that he has to be facing right now. Still one out, however, at the home half of the 6th. Raiders down 1-3. The 3-1 is a ball. Bases are loaded. This is the second time of the evening for Riverdale. And that will result in a Brendan McNabb at bat. McNabb, he's had a swinging strikeout at the bottom of the 2nd. A base on balls in the 5th. And let's see what he can do in inning number 6, when Riverdale could really use him the most.
Any idea who we got at first? They just swapped out.
So it appears that we have a courtesy runner over on first base. From the press box, we're trying to see who it is. It's number 15.
Now back running at first base, number 15, Sekula. Now batting Brendan McNabb.
That's Connor Sekula standing over at first. McNabb takes a strike one, low.
We're in the bottom of the 6th.
Fans staying nice and loud. 0-1. Just gets out by a few inches. 1-1 for Brendan McNabb with the bases loaded and the Raiders down by 2. 1 out at the bottom of the 6th. It's all up to McNabb here, swing and a miss for strike 2. Daniel Kaler in the on-deck circle right now for Riverdale. The delivery. Ooh, dangerous one coming down the third base side.
Took a shot at Pringle, he missed.
It's a foul ball, and it wedged in between Michael Connor, the Raider runner on third, and Coach Pringle, the manager for Riverdale, who's currently coaching over on third. Here's another one coming home. Oh, flyer out the right center. It gets down. There comes one to the plate. The tying run comes through to score. And here's a runner hanging over on third. We have a tied ball game, ladies and gentlemen. It's 3-3 at the home half of the 6th. Brendan McNabb with an RBI double that drives in a pair of runs. And here's yet another stoppage with a meeting on the mound for Fort Myers. My goodness, Brendan McNabb, have yourself a day. So coming home is Michael Connor from third, as well as Carson Palmquist from second. And will we have a pitching change here? As of right now, we're not seeing anything, or perhaps it is. Let's just wait a moment. So it turns out we will have a new pitcher on the mound, but we have a brand new ball game. 1 out. Home half of the 6th. It's 3-3, and here's a new dealer on the mound for Fort Myers. We'll introduce you to him in just moments. New hurler on the mound for Fort Myers High School is number 10, Jake Griffith, the left-handed pitcher, as Daniel Kaler steps up to the plate. 1 out, 2 men on for Riverdale, 1 on third, 1 on first, as we have a new tied-up ball game at 3 apiece. Here's a ball 1 listed for Daniel Kaler, who goes by the nickname of DK by his friends and numerous Raider baseball supporters. Throw to second as a pitch is outside, and is that runner safe? Yes, he is. And 0-2 is currently the count to Kaler as Brennan McNabb just stole over the second. Jeremiah Dunnick, the runner on third for the Raiders. Kaler now steps out of the box off of a timeout. And now it's an intentional walk coming up here. So now, once again, the bases are packed. First, second, and third. So Daniel Kaler walks to first. Tyler Gertman up next from the looks of it. Let's just make sure there's no courtesy or pinch hitter rather, and it is Tyler Gertman.
Tyler Gertman!
So how about this? 1 out, and now Tyler Gertman has the power to give Riverdale their first lead of the game.
Come on, baby. We only got 1 dead. We only got 1 dead. Good shape. 1 dead, 1 dead, 1 dead. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Jake Griffith, feeling the pressure on the mound, rips it home, ball. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a game it has been. Riverdale, for a majority of this game, they have been down by a 3-0 deficit by Fort Myers. All 3 runs were scored in the first inning, and now things have turned around. Ooh, there's one that misses by a thread.
That was our pitcher, I'd argue. It's their pitcher. Good call.
2-0 count. And Riverdale, all 3 runs have been scored right here at the home half of the 6th. Here's the 2-0, bunted backwards of the safety netting. Count now 2-1. So Coach Pringle's intention,
Pringle had everybody moving.
it is clear. He wants that runner to make his way home from third, and Gertman would lay the bunt down.
He wants the lead.
Yep.
He wants the lead.
And he has some tricky tactics.
Come on, Kurt. You gotta lay this one down, man. You gotta lay this one down. You gotta lay this one down, Kurt. Come on, buddy.
So Tyler Gertman with the 2-1, and it's now a 3-1 count. Big moment here for Riverdale. 1 pitch outside will give the Raiders a 1-run lead. Once again, their first of the game. Let's see how it goes. Will it miss? Oh, swing and a miss. So the count is full, and what's even worse is it was outside. It was all the way to the opposite end, but hey, Gertman was just a little bit impulsive there at the plate.
Gotta protect. Be smart.
Here's the payoff. It's a crucial one coming from Griffith. Here it comes, and it's down low. Everyone advances, and the Raiders take their first lead of the contest. 4-3 RHS is your score. So finally, Riverdale fans, they can take a sigh of relief, but getting that lead is only half the battle.
Your next Raider batter.
And with the bag still loaded up, you certainly want to get more if you're on this Raiders squad. But like I was just trying to say, getting the lead, it's only half the battle. You have to really hold it. Oh, it's sparked to center. That's a base hit at least. It's going to score 2. Oh my goodness. Here comes Brendan McNabb. Here comes Daniel Kaler. Raiders up by 3 off of one swing of the bat, courtesy of Matisse Bober. And he gets the bag number 2 standing up. You can now make it a 6-3 advantage in Riverdale's favor. And Matt Hardy hopes to keep the celebration rolling. The good times must continue for Riverdale. That's what Matt Hardy is acknowledging right now. Ball 1 here for Hardy. So
first time in a long time I had to stretch over into the next one.
Here at the bottom half of the 6th, Riverdale has scored 6 runs. The environment is absolutely unbelievable.
But down there, they're dead. They're done.
Fort Myers fans, of course, they're out of it right now. Riverdale fans, they're loving it. This is a deep fly ball out to right field. It's caught for an F9, but it's a sac fly. Coming in is Tyler Gertman. Call it 7-3 Riverdale. And that's the 7th run of this half inning for the Raiders. They have exploded, folks.
Your Raiders, number 2, Trevor Peckham.
Trevor Peckham on the way up for his second at-bat of the bottom of the 6th. He previously had an F7.
God, love to get the base. Two dead. Ball.
So 1 man on third, which is Matisse Bulber, 2 outs. And Trevor Peckham is 1-0 to start it off. Warm-up action going on in the Raider bullpen down the first base side. 1-0, it's a pass ball. Here comes Bulber, no throw. And it is 8-3, Riverdale.
When it rains, it pours.
It's a pass ball, and that just signals that Fort Myers has just lost control. And at the beginning of this game, Fort Myers, they were looking unstoppable, dominant, and like they weren't playing around.
Same team beat Ida Baker last night, 8-0. Ida Baker's one of the better teams in the county, so it's like wow.
Oh, certainly, yes. Fort Myers beat Ida Baker last night, 8-0.
Yep.
And Ida Baker, they're known as, one of the top teams in this county. They know how to win. So that just shows you how powerful this Riverdale team is. Meanwhile, ball 4 is up and in to Trevor Peckham. For the first time of the night, he gets on the bases. And it's Tyler Prell following up.
Your next Raider batter, number 7, Tyler Prell.
So it is like Riverdale is really just woken up here at the bottom half of the 6th.
They had Nelson Smith warming, so we'll see if that's the pitching change.
And it looks like Nelson Smith is warming up in the Raider bullpen as he is making the walk back to the RHS dugout. So still 2 outs. Bottom half of the 6th. Raiders explode for 8 runs, all at the home half of this inning. Well, once again, that's only just thus far. But 2 outs, and it's 8-3.
5 balls in a row now.
Riverdale.
He's struggling. He can't find the zone.
Griffith struggling. He's thrown 5 pitches outside in a row. Here's a 5-3 coming through. That ends the rally, but Riverdale, they are on fire. Through 6 complete, Riverdale is up 8-3 over Fort Myers. They're 3 outs away from a win right after this. Cam Wademan is batter number 1, top of the 7th inning as the Raiders lead 8-3 over Fort Myers. It's a bunt and an out. Catcher Tyler Prell scoops it up down first base and delivers a bullet pass to first. There's your first out. 2 out away until a Raider victory.
Next batter for the Green Wave, number 15, Damon Salters.
So it looks like David Salters is your upcoming batter. A pinch hitter for Connor Parnell. Salters in his first at-bat of the game. His first one is low and outside. Well, just moments ago, Riverdale absolutely exploded for 8 runs at the home half of the 6th to get on the board. And they scored 8 runs and 3 outs to make it a 5-run advantage going their way. That is fantastic stuff. So Salters takes a moment outside of the box, steps in, braces, and that's a foul ball. 1-1. Or 2-1. 1-2. Okay, just trying to get that settled out.
Foul back hit the mask.
Yeah, foul back hit the mask. Okay.
I almost forgot about that.
Here's one up and away. So it's 2-2. Still working hard past scoreboard malfunctions here at Pringle Field. Once again, we've done pretty well here in the press box, and there's a swing and a miss. Salters goes down with a hack and a miss. 1 out away from a Raider victory.
Batting next for the Green Wave, number 10, Jake Griffith.
So the pressure now goes to Jake Griffith.
We got shellacked.
Fort Myers down by 5. And the Raiders, they are showing why they are a very talented team. Once again, 4-0 in the regular season. If you include their postseason, or preseason rather, record, they are 6-0. Ooh, swing and a miss there. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Count now 2-1 with an off speed. Colby Davis up on the mound, hoping to close out this game. Home half of the 6th, they had Nelson Smith out there. And Riverdale bullpen, however, I guess that was just in case of an emergency. Another ball passes by. That's ball 3.
Strike him out.
And it's a floater out to left field and a base hit. Riverdale can't end the game just yet as Jake Griffith keeps this game rolling along with a base knockout to left.
Next batter for the Green Wave, number 4, Peyton Carr.
So Peyton Carr, it's up to him with 2 outs at the top of the 7th. Raider lead 8-3 against Fort Myers. With a win, Riverdale would go 5-0 in their overall regular season schedule. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. So that would bring up Riverdale to 5-0 on the regular season. The Green Wave would go down to 3-2 as he dodges out of this one, 1-1. Jake Griffith standing very close to the first base bag. Liner out to left field. Is it caught? Yes, it is. Oh boy. Matisse Bober rushes to it to close out this game as the Riverdale Raiders take down the Fort Myers Green Wave and an absolute thriller. Your final score at the end of 7 innings is Riverdale 8 and Fort Myers 3.
First pitch for JV will go out at 4 p.m.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to a conclusion here in tonight's game, let's tell you about the upcoming dates for these two teams. Both schools will be in action on Tuesday, March 7th at 7 p.m. However, these will be different games. Riverdale, they will be at home versus the Gulf Coast Sharks right here at Pringle Field. Once again, March 7th at 7 p.m., so be sure to join us at Pringle Field or listen to the broadcast online. Fort Myers on Tuesday night, they will be at home at Fort Myers High School to take on the Charlotte Tarpons. But ladies and gentlemen, what a win for the Riverdale Raiders, coming back at the home half of the 6th. Fans are happy on the Riverdale side, no doubt about that, because that is a huge comeback, no doubt about it. Fort Myers, they put up 3 runs at the top half of the first, and it seems like, they would come away with it. That's what it seemed like, and you could tell on the Riverdale benches, it seemed like end of game. They would take it away. But they remained scoreless, these two teams, until the home half of the 6th, where Riverdale lights up 8 runs across the board, and they finalize things at the top half of the 7th with Colby Davis getting the close. Riverdale only goes through 2 pitchers at the end of 7. Fort Myers, they have 3 hurlers. But what a win for Riverdale. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to come out Tuesday, March 7th at Pringle Field versus the Gulf Coast Sharks at 7 p.m. Tickets are $5 a piece, or once again, you can tune in here to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play throughout the course of tonight's action, saying thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Friday night and a safe remainder to your weekend. Have a good night, everybody.